Alright, Bitcoin. I guess this sort of will be about Bitcoin because we're headed into the weekend and it actually trades. But I want to look at gold and silver and Bitcoin and Ethereum and the general market rally that we got this week. So please smash the like button and we'll see how good this rally actually looks and what's going with the rally and what's not. Alright, so just here we're on the S&P, and I did an episode a couple episodes ago showing my idea of what the S&P topping pattern. I think this is a left shoulder of a topping pattern, and I'll show you just real quick. The general idea is that you have this cone-shaped thing, and we did this on several other charts, including the Great Depression topping pattern, where you do the cone, you break out of the top, the red cone here, see, and you jump on top of it, and then you begin another cone-shaped pattern, which ends up being a topping pattern. And it looks something like this, where you roll into the downtrend, and then you start going up, down, up, down, up, down. You can see all my tags here that I have on the chart are related to this. Each move is a little bit wider than the last one, and then the very last one ends up failing, and you have a crash there. And these are huge moves. So volatility through this period would be crazy if it does this pattern. But anyway, that's an idea that I have. That's the pattern that I started trading at, this bottoming area here. If you see my last 8 videos, you'll know I've been calling this bottom for the last 2 weeks, and I'm expecting it to rally hard, and I'm expecting it to rally to all-time highs. But I'm willing to change my mind in a hurry because we're setting up lower highs here and lower lows. So all we need to do is get stuck here and turn over, and we're definitely looking at a bear market if this happens. So yeah, that's kind of the question, is this rally, this bottom is definitely correct. We rallied past all of the resistance levels to not mark it as a bottom, but what kind of bottom is it? So are we looking at a boring bull market? I hear people saying that we're going to do a bull market thing. If it's a boring bull market, we should be probably going kind of this way, up the bottom of our green channel here. That's kind of the bull market thing. I just showed you the crazy topping pattern kind of idea, where you make a high and then another low, and then you go to the top. The top is after this. That's my general idea. But I think probably 70-80% of whoever, almost every analyst, is this is a bear market bounce, which is an easy call, but I think it's incorrect. Which at this point would probably rally to around here, maybe mid-channel, before it fell, because we've broken out of the zones for this bottoming area to fail. This bottom already broke out. This is a bottom, but yeah, are we leading into some boring crap, a bull trap, or another crazy move up, which it looks pretty crazy so far. But when you're in a bear market, you get kind of vertical rallies and you get slower down moves. That's just kind of how bear markets work. So I wanted to look at, I guess the IWM is one that's cool quickly. So IWM's rallying hard, and it's breaking out of its downtrend. And IWM I use to look at the general money flows into random crap. IWM has a bunch of financials, it's small caps, and all of the the bank loans, not just public margin loan data that you can look up, but bank loans that go to some bank in Europe makes dollar denominated loan or to a hedge fund in China. You're not going to see that on the margin loan data. Or banks will even do swaps where they hold the positions for the person that's loaning them like none of that data shows up. But you'll see this on the IWM. So if you get the IWM rallying, that means money's coming back in to the market in general, but you don't know where, like what sectors are going to rally. So if we look at the NASDAQ, you can see that the NASDAQ is rallying. And this is something that I was thinking, like the NASDAQ will probably be weak. Now that we're getting into the topping pattern, the huge, tech and growth part of the market is probably going to get weaker, but really the companies in the NASDAQ aren't necessarily tech and growth. It's a bunch of the top blue chip kind of stocks right now are not really tech and growth anymore. Like Apple and Google and stuff like that. That's like major infrastructure stocks. Like people still consider them tech and growth, but they really aren't. So I don't think it's weird for money to flow into the NASDAQ. You can see that NASDAQ is going with this rally. So I would say that the NASDAQ is a safe sector to randomly pick stocks in, and none of this is financial information. This is just stuff that I'm looking at right now because I spread my positions out. At this bottom, I moved into gold and silver stocks, and I moved into some NASDAQ stocks and some healthcare stuff. It's pretty random array of stocks that I just like the charts of. So gold, you can see, is holding up, but it's not really following this rally. And so the monetary assets are just kind of interesting right now. Like we just had a big drop in treasuries. Treasuries are looking like they're trying to rally. Gold, I guess has been bulling since back here. And it did this dramatic thing, but gold does not look like it's going to go like crazy. And it's not chasing this rally, it's just kind of sitting here. And silver also, like it had a pretty big drop. And it's doing like a little bit of a rally here, but it also is not like following everything. So I just closed my positions on my gold and silver miners because they're not picking up the money flows from this rally. Like the money has gone into Tesla had a bit of a rally. Like GameStop had a huge run the last couple of days. So that's interesting to see money flowing into those kind of things right now. That would indicate to me that the market is still like a little bit younger and stronger than I was thinking maybe. If money is going to be flowing into sort of, meme stocks, basically. But the Tesla rally is really late. Like it fell all the way down until just the last 2 days it just started rallying, which a lot of the other stocks bottomed back here on the first stab down. A lot of the NASDAQ stocks, and especially Tesla, came down here. But you can see I drew my cone-shaped sort of topping pattern on Tesla, which, if that's it up here, like that's kind of crazy. Maybe it would be something like that or something. The chart's a little bit choppier. That might be a good kind of thing to look at for Tesla. This trend line has been a big deal for the last 2 years, I guess, in Tesla here. But yeah, maybe something like this. It looks like Tesla's going to rally, and I think that's probably some good targets. So yeah, I wanted to look at Bitcoin though, because it was a little bit sort of, I guess, normal that I was expecting it to rotate out of the meme stock whole sector and more into materials kind of stocks, and the material stocks actually are doing well right now, but the meme stocks are also doing really well, and they're doing better, which I did not expect on this rally, but that's what's happening so far. So I'm gonna try to figure out where things are and play that. But Bitcoin is being weird as usual, I guess, but you know, we had this big sort of topping area. Let me tighten up the ribbon here, where, you know, people were saying Bitcoin's going to go to 150 or 200 or something like that. And we had us double hit into this sort of topping. It's just sort of the top of the rainbow that Bitcoin's been following the whole time. And we got a double tap, a double false breakout, and fell back in. And so I was calling for the sort of like the crypto winner thing probably like 3 or 4 months ago over here. And I was shorting the crap out of Mara, just because I thought it had downside from Bitcoin and also from the stock market pullback. So that was my huge short trade, and then I just went cash when Mara broke the downtrend line. But in any case, like the bottom that we just had now, I'm not going long on any Bitcoin stuff. All the Bitcoin stocks look super weak right now. You can see Bitcoin did just like a little coil, and now it's kind of looking weak as the market is rallying. So the funds are not racing into Bitcoin this time. And so, yeah, I guess the high risk growth stuff that sort of rotates out before you get to the top of the market, I think Bitcoin is doing this. I think Bitcoin is going to be weak while other things rally right now. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to sort out right now what's weak and what's not. And if you flip through some other things, like Ethereum had a bigger fall than Bitcoin, that looks pretty ugly. And then if you go through like Bitcoin related stocks, MicroStrategy I think had a little bounce here, but it's not a strong bounce, and it's not a pretty chart. Like it had a huge sort of parabolic drop and a little bounce. So I don't know where, I have no idea where Bitcoin's trying to go right now, but I know that it's not chasing this rally at the same time. So for right now, I'm just ignoring the Bitcoin sector as just dangerous, difficult to go long on, difficult to short. And you can see the Bitcoin miners are just kind of falling, and they're making weak lows. I mean, maybe a tiny rally, but nothing really. This is just huge drops and tiny rally while other things are going up. For instance, like GameStop went nuts. Like this was the biggest. I think this was the biggest move of anything that I saw this week. Like GameStop did an uphill double bottom here and just like rocketed. And so that makes it really interesting. Like, are all of the random kind of meme stocks similar to GameStop going to go crazy? Like, you know, AMC hasn't done anything nutty, but it's rallying with the market. Like, that could get a big pickup. And, you know, the charts are looking okay on most of these stocks. Like, it's a downtrend. Like, Cost is another one with a similar kind of downtrend, but a breakout and a bottom. And it looks like it's rallying. Let's see. Yeah, there's other random meme stocks that have done a breakout move but didn't start rallying really. So, yeah, this is just kind of tricky to figure out which stocks things are going to flow into. But GameStop already popped, so that's going to be definitely something to watch now. But there are some stocks like NFG I just traded out of. I was long on First Majestic, AG, Silver. I traded out of that today just to kind of free up money over the weekend, and also they're just not rallying with the market, so I don't want to sit on them. But yeah, if you go through some of the other stuff, the materials, kind of energy and miners that are not monetary, like not gold and silver. I mean, oil has been bulling forever, and it looks weird, so I don't really like the oil chart right now. I think it's a dangerous spot to trade oil. It just is doing super volatile, weird stuff. But if you look at stocks like Alcoa, this is an aluminum company. Like this definitely did the bottoming pattern and rallied. And FCX, I think I have some lines on this chart. They're there. Not much, but yeah, just a general rally. Like, it's looking weak, but we'll see if we get a high on the S&P, I would expect stocks like this to outperform the S&P and get back up to a pretty bullish spot. It's like Alcoa, FCX is copper mining, and other materials and minerals, but mainly it's a copper company. And this bottomed and rallied really well also, but no explosive moves like GameStop or something like that. But this is following the market trend and it's rallying. So I do think the material stocks and miners are coming in, but not necessarily like gold or silver miners. Those don't look as strong right now. Uranium looks good. This is my favorite uranium stock. Uranium Royalty Corp. It's UROY. It had a different symbol last year. But also, it did sort of the coil and it's going bullish. So this is a thing to watch. Like which things are holding up and following the money that's coming in right now. So there's definitely money that's just started to flow in. And then I did an episode on some short stocks, which have all just done almost all of them have done just a dramatic down move. Now, I mean, the whole market has, but some of these stocks have done a more dramatic down move, and there's high short interest. And this is a stock that I'm really interested in right now that hasn't really broken out yet, but you can see that it did a pretty volatile uphill W, which looks good. And I do see money coming into the NASDAQ, which would give these smaller NASDAQ stocks some money flow on their own. But this is a high short interest stock. It is related to semiconductors. It's an EV company that makes electric trucks, workhorse. And the downtrend, it's just a really good technical downtrend. I just like the chart. So this is one of my stocks that I'm long on right now with long-term call options that I keep pointing out just because I think it should rally, but it's not. There's some other, I think Nikola rallied a little bit today, maybe FUV. Some of these EV stocks are starting to pop again. So it looks like EV stocks may be picking up fund flows again. So it's a lot of similar kind of, I don't know if EVs really meme stocks. They're sort of tech and growth energy category. But in any case, that's a general look at what is picking this rally up, it looks like. And then again, my targets for the rally in general are high and steep. I think I'm more bullish than almost anyone right now. And I'm usually not, for sure, but I think we're going to get an explosive rip to the upside. And then we have a bunch of resistance here around 46 that we've got to get through. And if we don't get through that, that's a lower high. That's bull trap zone. So we've already broken out here. So I think we're out. Although, you might want to get a top before you rip up here. We'll see how steep it is. This rally was very steep. And that's the kind of rally that you want to probably take as a good example. Because that's the beginning of our up cone here. You get a steep rally and kind of a slower down move, steep rally, slower down move. I think that might be the pattern we're doing. We might rip steep here and then trail down and then the topping pattern up here. And that could take a while. I don't know, a year and a half kind of topping pattern. But that's the general idea, and I think on this rally right here, that's my target for now. And I'll start getting really questionable about it when we get into this area here. Especially mid-channel right here, I'll start seeing what it really looks like. But that's what I think's going on. I think Tesla looks like it's going to rally hard. I think GameStop looks like it might get ridiculous and just crazy. And then you'll probably get some other meme stocks like AMC similar to GameStop coming in. And I think you might get some other meme stocks similar to Tesla coming in, like Workhorse, Arcimoto, Nikola, even though I think that company is ridiculous. It looks like it's bouncing pretty hard, so that's, those smaller ones are easy to push around. That's why it looks like it's moving. So this could be this next month could be an extremely high month if we set up this cone shape. And then if we do set this cone shape up, there's another really good shorting kind of setup here, and then boom, and then we have this insane downside target on this, on the downside of the cone where we might get the biggest, most vertical rally since the Great Depression. So that's the outlook. Yeah, not bullish on Bitcoin, not wanting to trade that thing at all right now. I don't want to get like way into the whole, BTC is sort of a broken version of the blockchain. They messed up the protocol. Like, I'm not bullish on BTC long term because it's not functional, it's not scalable. Bitcoin needs to go back to the original Bitcoin protocol to be functional, and the price is going to be way lower. And anyway, right now it's just crazy trading on a ton of these blockchains that are just built incorrectly, that are not scalable. I think all of these non-scalable blockchains are going into the garbage can, and it might take like 10 years, but like they're going to go into the trash because they're just not going to be functional. Like, the blockchain has to work. It doesn't matter how popular it is. Like, it has to function. It has to be scalable. The scalable ones are going to win out long term. But in any case, yeah, that's like BSV and Monero are the ones that are scalable. There's not much else. Like, almost every other coin or crypto or blockchain is non-scalable versions that are messed up. And unless they change the protocols, they're not going to make it. But that doesn't affect trading right now. Like, trading is just crazy. So good luck with all of that. And cheers from Mexico City. Have a good weekend.